Welcome back, guys. Henri here, and today we're going to talk about 5 insecurities that impacts men in their dating life and in life in general. So if you're a young man, chances are that you have at least one of these insecurities. If it's the case, consider commenting which one it is if you want to comment something. So these are obviously based on my own observation and things that I learned through my life and also through my research and all that. So let's get into it. So the first insecurity that most men have is their height, right? Because let's be honest, like when we ask girls, like I'm sure you've seen these videos online when boys ask girl like the type of guy that they want and all that, and they usually say that they want tall guy, right? Like above 6 foot, and yeah, that they want tall guys. So a lot of men feel pressured and feel lesser men, especially when they are less than 6 foot. At least me, I'm close to 6 foot. I'm like 5'11", but you know, I can say that I'm 6 foot. But some guys are like 5'7", 5'6". I mean, really short guys, right? And they really feel like they will never be able to attract a girl. This is false, right? Because basically everything has an advantage and a disadvantage in life. You'll say that being tall only has positives, but sometimes you can't even like enter a room because you're too tall. I mean, anyways, like when you're short, you can typically put on muscle faster. So use that. Like you shouldn't focus on stuff that you can't control. Like obviously you can't control your height. So focus on all the other things that you can control. You can control your body, you can control your success level, the money you make to some extent, your ambition and everything else. So since you're lacking in one area, you gotta like overperform in other areas. So you should use it as a motivation to become even better than you are, right? And we have a lot of example of short guy who have like beautiful women, right? Top of my head, there's this guy named Jason from the Oppenheimer group or Oppenheim group. It's a show, Selling Sunset on Netflix. He's a really short guy, but like he's been to with almost all the girls on the show, right? And he said that he doesn't care, right? Because when you're short and you have excess confidence and you don't care, it makes you even more attractive, right? So if you can get past that, if you can develop that confidence to become that G, you're gonna be even more attractive than a normal guy, right? Than a guy who has a normal height, right? So use it as a full to boost your confidence and boost all other areas of your life. Let's get to insecurity number 2 that most men have, which is their money, right? This one is also an obvious one because as men, society put pressure on us to always perform and provide, which makes sense. There's nothing wrong about that. This pressure can be positive if you can like frame it well, right? It can be a motivation to like do more, but also you gotta understand that like although we are supposed to be providers, you also have to be smart about your money, right? Now I'm guessing that if you're a young man like me, you're not making a lot of money unless you're like one of the top guys, right? Even if you're making okay money for your age or like a lot of money for your age, you still have to be smart with your money. You gotta invest some of it, you gotta save some of it, and also you're responsible for the women that you are dating, right? So you gotta make sure that like even though you're kind of like being chivalrous and providing for a girl, you gotta make sure that she's not with you only because you can provide, right? So you gotta be able to filter out gold diggers, and this is your job, because obviously money and all is good, right? It's cool to flex your money and all that, but you shouldn't be, I mean, it's not good to flex your money, but it's good to like make money and all that, but you shouldn't be with a girl that is with you only for your money. So be able to like see who's a good girl and not, and never try to flex your money to impress a girl. This is always a L, and it's never gonna work. So you're just gonna like try to take advantage of you. So yeah, do your best if you're a young man to like have some money. Obviously it's gonna depend on how much money you make, but regardless of how much money you make, do your best to save at least 10% of whatever you make. I know it can be easy to say it, but like think about it. If the government right now decided to like tax your money 10% more, you'll still be able to live, right? You'll still be able to survive. So just act as if like you had no choice, and you see you're gonna find solutions. So just put 10% of your paycheck every month in a saving account, and then you can invest that money or invest it into like into yourself, or just invest it to the stock market. Anyways, just work on your money. The third insecurity that most men have is their sex game, quote unquote. So this one is a little bit this one is interesting because we have a lot of fake expectation of how sex should be like, especially if you're a young man who is watching a lot of porn and stuff, right? You probably think that you're supposed to have a massive dick, that you're supposed to like last an hour and all that, but all that is false because obviously it's a movie, right? And yeah, you shouldn't put so much expectation on yourself, because when you do, you just end up stressing, and when you stress, you're just gonna have erectile dysfunction and not gonna be able to get your dick up at all, right? So always go into sexual interaction with the thought in mind that you're supposed to have fun, right? And if the girl is already attracted to you, especially if she likes you, your performance is not gonna matter that much if she's in love with you, right? And you can always find ways to like still pleasure her without using your thing, right? So there's still ways around it, but if you're really concerned about that, I can give you some practical tips that work with me, which is like drinking a lot of water, because it facilitates the blood flow, and also yeah, improve your sleep, because it could be a testosterone issue also. Improve your sleep and your diet, and it's gonna make a big change in your sex life. I mean, that's what I noticed on my side at least. So yeah, don't put so much pressure on you to perform, right? Because think about it, the primary goal of having sexual relationship is just to give birth, right? Is to reproduce. So you're not supposed to be a fucking sex god, right? A lot of men like are basically basing their manhood into their ability to fuck. Don't be like that, because it's only fucking, right? Yeah, it's not that deep. Just de-stress, and you're gonna relax, and you're gonna feel better about it. The more you stress, and the worse you're gonna perform. Oh, and by the way, bro, if you find any value from this video, consider liking and subscribing. This leads us to the fourth insecurity that most men have, which is their body type. Yeah, so their body type is basically how they look like. So you can be skinny, overweight, average, and this one can be also tricky, because like when you look at Hollywood movies and stuff, you can see that most men are always portrayed as being, I mean, most heroes and stuff are always portrayed as being this big jacked guy, like Thor. Even Spider-Man is kind of jacked, but like they all have like really good body, and it can like have a negative impact on our on our perception of ourselves, right? But to do so, you have all control. You have the control to like change your body the way you want it, right? So first of all, don't put that much pressure on yourself, because if you go to the beach during summer, for example, you're gonna notice that most people there, they have average bodies. They have average body. They are either too skinny or overweight or skinny fat. Like they have average bodies. So just understand that most people are not jacked, and then you have 100% control to like change it. You know what you already know what you need to do. You know, to go to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week. Eat right. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that you can use to like build muscle. Like you basically know what you're supposed to do. So just you can work on your body. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward thing to do, right? Just watch some YouTube videos about it, start doing push-up. I mean, I know for myself, I started before going to the gym, I was doing push-ups every day, and it already had a change on my body. So yeah, and you don't need to be super jacked, right, to be attractive. Like you probably know, like most women just like the athletic build, right? All you have to do is show that you have some muscle and you have a low body fat, right, that you are kind of skinny, and that's all you need. You don't need to be like super jacked like Thor or The Rock or whoever, right? This leads us to our final insecurity that most men have during dating, and this is their job, or what they do for a living, right? I remember once I was in New York with one of my buddy, and we were at the bar, and a girl asked him like, "Oh, what do you do for a living and stuff?" And he started panicking because he didn't know what to say, because like he wasn't proud of his job, right? He was doing, I think he was working security at a nightclub or some shit, right? And he wasn't proud of it. And that's the thing, like whatever you do, you always have to be proud of what you do, right? Because as long as it's not something illegal or like selling drugs or some shit, you should always take pride in the way that you earn your money, because there's no free or easy money. As long as you're making money, you should be proud of yourself. That's the most important part. Whatever you do, could be working construction, flipping burgers, or even I don't know, cleaning toilet, whatever you do, always be proud of what you do, because you gotta earn your way. You gotta earn a living. And also, whatever you do now doesn't dictate what you're gonna do in the future, right? So today you can be a simple construction worker, and tomorrow you can own a fucking construction company, right? So never be ashamed of what you do, right? Always take pride of whatever you do, and understand that like it's only temporary, and in the future you're going to be doing something else. The only person that should be ashamed or embarrassed about their work is the people that do nothing, right? The bum that just stay at home eating Cheerios and fapping all day and not working. These are the only person. That's it for today. If this video was helpful, consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next one.